You're listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental wellness.
Hi everyone, Janice here, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. Today, I thought we would talk about values and beliefs. So when we're considering what our values and beliefs are, this gives us a guiding point to be able to determine what is important to us, if something is aligned with who we are and what we want. So considering values and beliefs can play an integral role in the journey and the process through therapy. When we look at our values and beliefs, we want to start to consider what it is that's important to us, what it is that we want for ourselves and for our lives. And this often requires a lot of reflection, right? So there are things that become ingrained in our values and our belief systems that were integrated when we were quite small. And so sometimes that can impact what we believe our values and beliefs are as adults. And so unpacking some of these values and beliefs allows us to find a way to create a more authentic values and belief system, as well as integrating some of these more ingrained or taught values and beliefs from when we were younger. So considering values being what is important to us, what do we see as important and necessary in life. So values might be something like kindness or compassion or advocacy. These are values that we hold about the world and help guide us and find ways to become aligned with who it is that we want to be. Versus beliefs are the things that we think about the world. So things like it's important to recycle, or to love our neighbors, or that that littering is bad. I don't know why these are all environmental things. It's easy to think of. But these types of things are our values versus beliefs, right? And so it can start to get kind of murky and unclear when we start to unpack some of these deeper things, right? We talked about laziness in an episode and how ingrained it can be that we are a lazy person, right? Or I'm a stupid person, right? These are beliefs about ourselves that start to become ingrained by messages that we hear when we're younger. And so recognizing that belief is no longer serving us and being able to change it can be so important. But it requires this reflective process and this analysis of what we think is true. Oftentimes when clients share their beliefs with me, they don't realize that that's what they're doing because they're so ingrained and they believe them to be so accurate and so true that there can't be any other option. And so sometimes this can be difficult to navigate when I then give the feedback of, is that a fact or is that a belief? And starting to find the difference between those two. So starting to recognize, is this something that I was taught? Is this something that I believe to be true? Or is there any gray area within this thought process? And that can start to give us a little bit of wiggle room to start to play and start to get curious about if this is a belief or a value, or if this is a fact about life, the world around us. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, both on Apple and Android.
New episodes will be released every Friday. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on the Anchor app. All these details can be found at janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.